Hello, hi guys, welcome back to my channel. This is Jules, and today we're going to be taking off this last set that I did last time. These are the French ombre nails that I did, and as you can see, there are no lifting whatsoever. It's already been 3 weeks since the last time I made a video, and these have grown out quite a bit. So what I'm going to do today is I'm going to take all of this off and start fresh and put out on a brand new set for you guys. Thank you for waiting. So now my nails are nice and clean. As you can tell, there's still a little bit of polygel still stuck to my nails because I don't want to be filing all the way down to the nail bed. And what I'm going to do now is I'm going to take my round e-file bit and I'm going to file around the cuticle area just to get rid of any dead skin, any cuticles that are waving at me. Make sure I have a nice clean and buffed surface for me to work on. Now prepping is very, very important when it comes to doing nails. There's a reason that my nails don't often lift even after many weeks. That's because I do spend a lot of time trying to prep and buff and get rid of any dead skin, because any dead skin or any leftover product that has already lifted, or any dust, oils that are left on your nails will cause your nails to lift, within a week or two. So make sure you do the prep work very, very well. Take your time. It can be a little bit tedious, but we'll get to the fun part later. And if you want your pretty nails to last as long as possible, it's good to always, get the prep and the base and the foundation done. So I'm just wiping my nails with some 70% alcohol on a lint-free wipe. And what I'm going to start doing now is put on my dehydrator first, as usual. You can just go around the cuticle area for every nail to get rid of any of the oils. And now I'm just putting on some primer. Make sure you scrub that in, and that'll help your nails stay very well. Let's give it a second for the primer to dry. And what I'll do now is I'll grab my base gel. This is a rubber base gel. It's very, very thick, but I've noticed that it works amazing, so I'll probably be purchasing this in the future as well. And I'm just trying to put on an even coat for every single nail. Try not to get the base gel on your cuticles or on your skin because it is extra sticky and it's quite hard to buff off later on. So I would rather you just put it on the nails, not get it onto any of your skin, because it'll just make it harder to clean up afterwards. Alright, now that that's done, I'm just going to nuke it for a minute in my lamp, and I'm going to prep my slip solution, and I'm going to grab my clear polygel this time. This is a natural clear, so it's a little bit foggy. It's not crystal clear. However, it's still really good as a base for any colors that you want to put on top. And I'm going to speed up this part because it's a little bit tedious. What I'm going to do is I'm going to grab my nail forms, put the polygel inside. I don't like to use a spatula. I just kind of squeeze it right in there and rip off whatever amount I need. And I do nuke the thumbs separately from the other ones just because it'll help it stay a little bit better, because if I do the other ones and my thumb touches anything, then usually that's the nail that ends up crooked. I'm just repeating the same process for all the other nails. Make sure you build the middle part of your nail in the nail form a little bit thicker than the other portions, just like how you would when you're trying to build your nail freeform without polygel or dual forms. And make sure you don't have any air bubbles, because those air bubbles eventually will cause lifting as well in your nail, because the product's not lying flat against your nail then. I do flash cure between every single nail just to make sure that the product is staying on my nail well before I move on to the next one, because I don't want to be touching my nails and then moving them around, causing the dual form to slip around. So I have cut off the portions of me flash curing each nail, because that does take quite a bit of time. 10 seconds for each nail would do. However, make sure you do stick your hand into the lamp for 5 to 10 seconds in between doing each nail to make sure that they are flash cured. And then when you're done on your nails, you just pop it into nail lamp again for a full minute and pop those nail forms off. And voila, there are my nails. And what I'm going to do next is I'm going to take my hand file, and I like to do the sides first and make sure it's straight up so that I have that really crisp edge for a coffin nail. And now I'm just filing my nails into the shape that I want them to be. Don't worry about the cuticle portion as much right now, because we'll be taking care of that afterwards with the e-file. Just focus on the nail shape that you want. If you want it in a stiletto shape, you can file it into a stiletto shape now. If you want an almond shape, you can do that as well, but I've chosen a coffin shape because we're doing a neon tip nail today, and I feel like having a coffin shape gives the best effect. So let me know in the comments down below if you enjoy watching me file my nails. I know it's kind of a boring portion of the video. I personally, when I'm watching nail videos, I like to skip this part because it does take quite a bit of time, even if I do speed it up. But if you want me to cut that portion out in the future, I can just skip right over it. Alright, so now I'm just changing my bit on my e-file to a pointy one, and I'm going around the cuticle area, cleaning up any bits of polygel that I don't want. There's always going to be a little bit of polygel sticking out where you don't want it to be, either squeezed out or not lying flat, or just not blending as well into the cuticle area as you would want. I do take my time with this. This part is going to take a little bit of time, but this bit is really nice. It's very gentle on the skin. It never nips the skin, and it doesn't hurt. And I'm just gently pushing against the polygel, getting rid of any portions I don't want there, making sure that the fade between the polygel, the nail, and my natural nail bed is very smooth. Take your time with this part, because after this we'll be putting on a nude color. So if you do this part right and it is nicely faded into your cuticle area, the color you put on afterwards would look really nice and seamless. Alright, so now that that's done, I'm just going to take my little buffer block and I'm going to buff each nail. Make sure there's no shiny bits left. There you go. And again, I'm just gonna take some alcohol and a lint-free wipe and wipe all the nail dust or the polygel dust off of each nail. Nice and clean. So what we're gonna do now is we're gonna be putting on the color. The color I've chosen today for this nail is a light nude color because it blends really well with my skin. If you're darker skinned, maybe a darker nude would be really nice for you as well. And obviously if you're lighter skinned, maybe an even lighter nude will work very well for your nails as well. I try to match closely to the skin tone naturally. And the brush I'm using today is a very thin, longer brush. This one makes putting on color extremely easy, also because this nail color, this gel color is so buttery and soft that it really just glides on. We're going to be putting 2 coats of this on our nails. So even if your first coat isn't completely even, try not to worry about it too much. You're going to have a second coat coming in. And try not to make your coats too thick because that's going to cause your gel color not to cure properly. You want to do thin, even coats and cure them in the lamp for a minute each coat, because if they don't cure properly and your product's not fully cured, later on you'll find that your nail kind of rips off on the very top where it doesn't cure nicely. So your layers between your gel would be splitting instead of sticking together, and that's a big no-no. So make sure you put on thin layers, thin enough that you can penetrate the nail with the LED UV lamp that you're using, with however long that you're curing it for. And I'm just finishing up my first coat for this color. Alright, I'm gonna nuke this. And now I'm just speeding up this portion for you because you've already seen me do the color once. I'm just putting in a second coat, and as you can tell, after you put in a second coat, it really firms up that color. It becomes more opaque, more even. And you know, if you have a nude color and it's not as opaque as the one I'm currently using, it's completely fine to do 3 thin coats. It's actually better to do more thin coats than to do one big thick coat. So always keep in mind what products you're using and what they're best suited for. So these are the colors I've chosen for today. They are all really nice bright neon colors. And I'm going to be showing you how I do the tip. So this is my detail brush. It's so pretty and extremely thin. As you can tell, we're going to be using this brush to do our neon tips. And we're going to be starting off with this beautiful bright pink color. I really love this pink color, and I really wish I put it on more than one finger, but you know, I wanted each finger to have a different color, so too bad, so sad for me. But I think in the future I'm going to be using this color again in another nail art video. This is definitely a bright neon pink. And you just want to line your nails on the side. And as you can see, the reason why I chose coffin, it just looks so nice when you line it on the side. And I nuke it in between every nail for 30 seconds because I don't want the product to be sliding around or for my nails to be touching anything or possibly messing up my design. Then I'd have to start all over again for that nail. So I'm just going through every nail, putting the neon color against each of the edges. And the second color I've decided to use is actually a neon yellow. However, this kind of looks like a green in this lighting. In person, it looks a lot more like a bright neon yellow. And for the middle finger, I've decided to use a neon orange. This color definitely doesn't show up as well on camera because my skin tone, but in person it is so pretty. Also one of my favorite ones. All right. Not sure if you can see that orange. And again, I'm just gonna cure it for 30 seconds again. And this is a solid neon green. Look at how green that is. This one's gonna be going on my ring finger. And you just repeat the same process. For each finger, you line the free edge and the sides with the color of your choice. You don't have to use a neon color, but I notice these days that these neon tipped nails are extremely popular both on Instagram and Pinterest. So I've decided to give these a try and show you guys how I do it. Alright, that one's done as well. And we're down to the last color. This one's a blue. It's really pretty. And I just mix it up a little and line my nails again. Alright, so when you're satisfied with how your nails look, go ahead and pop your whole hand into the nail lamp for 60 seconds. And now we're just going to be grabbing our top coat and putting a top coat to seal this. The one I'm using today is a no wipe top coat as well. And I'm going to be putting this on every single nail, making sure that that neon tip does not move around, and it really gives your nails that glossy, bright look. So I'm just putting this on every nail. Alright, this is the last one. I'm going to be putting the top coat on. We're almost done. And then I like to just pop my hand back into the nail lamp for another 60 seconds to cure everything at once. If you want, you can put 2 rounds in for the last bit just to make sure every nail is fully cured. And I'm going to be using some cuticle oil because after all that filing and buffing and work on my nails, as always, my cuticles need a little bit of TLC. And I'm just going to rub that into each nail. And I'll give you guys the final look. These are my neon tipped nails. I think these are super cute. It's for people who really enjoyed a natural new nail, but they want to kind of step outside of the box a little bit, enjoy the sun, the summer, and get a little bit more creative with color without going too crazy.